Okay, we're now ready to start our calibration. First thing we did was mark our shaft on our auger. It can be achieved by using whiteout or some type of tape, whatever your preference is. And then some of the materials we're going to use in the process is somewhere to hang the scale. We'll have a scale hanging in place. We've got a container to put the material in. This tarp we'll run some material on after a while on the ground, and we've got a shovel to help get the material up. Okay, it's now time to set the controls inside the cab of the truck. So Samantha, if you would, set the spinner control to the off position. And let's go to number 5 on the conveyor. Okay, now with that setting, that's a good starting point for the calibration to begin. We now have our controls set inside the truck. We're going to turn our conveyor on and preload the salt on the conveyor until we get the full 2 inches of salt back here at the back. You can see that it's coming out. Okay, Samantha. Now we're ready to start our weight process. Okay, we now have our conveyor preloaded with salt. It's time for us to do 1 revolution on this shaft, and we're going to weigh that material once it comes out on this tarp, and we'll chart that on our next step. So Samantha, if you would, turn the conveyor on. Okay. Now we got 1 revolution of salt. That's going to give us an accurate weight. Okay, we've now got the salt on the tarp that came out of the truck in 1 revolution. We've got to transfer that material over here to the scale. The scale's hanging, it's got a container on it, and we've zeroed it out with the weight of the container. So if y'all would bring that salt over, and we'll get a weight on that salt for 1 revolution. Now we'll just rehang this on the scale. We've got 27 pounds of salt per revolution on this truck. Okay, we're now going to run the spreader under a load for 1 minute, and we're going to run it at 1500 to 2000 RPMs, which is the same as a highway speed, equivalating the spread rate. And I'll be counting the revolutions for that 1 minute, so we'll get an ideal weight, how much we're putting down each minute. So turn the spreader on, Samantha. Okay, we now have our weight per revolution on this truck. We have revolutions per minute at 1 setting on this truck. We have to duplicate that for each setting on the controller until our hydraulics max out. We'll then take the information and record it onto our calibration sheet and design an application rate for our route. Okay, once the event is over, we now have to unload the excess material off the truck, store it in its proper location. That's where David's at back here at the salt bin. Okay, we've emptied the truck out over at the salt bin. We're now going to wash the truck out. David's up on top. Just take note that we're washing it in a contained wash area, so we're meeting our stormwater pollution guidelines.